Hi guys, welcome back to the Return to Love podcast. I'm joined here with my lovely mother. Say hi to the people.
Hi, people. How are you doing today?
Everyone's good. I'm good. So hopefully everyone else at home is good as well. You're watching this. So today we have this book written by none other than herself, developing the greatest relationship with self. 21 Days to Returning to Love. If you guys want to cop this book, go visit her website and it's right there for you to purchase. Today, I just want to ask her some questions about what she's written in here and get a deeper understanding of why she wrote it and what brought her to the conclusions that she landed on. Some lovely little inscription.
Great. Oh, your own personal
I've got my
copy.
own autograph. Be nice to her. She'll give you one as well. So, first of all, before we even start, I just want to ask, why did you decide to write this book?
Well, I never intended to write the book. But what happened was during my coaching sessions with some of my clients, it was a question that was always coming at the end of the coaching program. And they kept saying, okay, so you've taught me to go through this. If you help me right now, I'm okay, I'm happy, I'm doing well in this area. Then what's gonna happen, when you're not there, when you can't coach me through an experience? So that made me realize that, you know what, I probably need to have something that I can then say, okay, you can go and purchase this book, or you can have this book, and then you can use it through any type of experience that you want. Yeah. So, because the whole thing about developing the greatest relationship with yourself is it affects every area of your life, because the relationship with that you have with the self, which means yourself, determines how you respond to people around you, which means how you build relationships with those that are around you. It also determines how you develop a relationship with those that you work with, or with strangers that you meet, or with those that you're going to be helping in life. And that same relationship with yourself also determines how you relate with finances, how you relate with every other aspect of our lives. So when you are in disharmony within yourself in some area somehow, there is going to be an area in your life where there's going to be shortcomings. So that's why I wrote this book. So I can help people, you can use it in any area of your life depending on what you are going through at that point.
Exactly. I would agree with that. The relationship with yourself will definitely have an impact on how you relate to others and how you communicate as well, which is going to have a big impact on other relationships, especially in terms of work, family, platonic or romantic. Um, you need to have that balance between.
Yeah, because everything in life is a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
There is a connection somehow. So the connection starts with yourself and who you are being within yourself. And that's when you can either respond or react to whatever relationship that you are having with those things.
It also determines the type of people that you attract into your life as well.
Yeah.
If you have a bad relationship with yourself, then you're going to attract bad people into your life. And if you have a good one, then you're going to have good connections with people in your life. So,
yeah, you're the creator of your own reality. That's just
exactly.
basically what it is.
Okay, well, that moves us swiftly on to the next question. Your day two is embracing yourself and all of your past.
Yeah.
Where was this leading to?
Embracing yourself. Most of us are running away from ourselves. We are running away from who we are. We are running away from our past. We are running away from things that we think are shameful, are embarrassing. We're constantly running away. So if you're running away from yourself, then how can you have a relationship with yourself? Because you don't want to spend time with yourself. So embracing yourself means that you're going to be there, accepting who you are and everything that is going on in your life, the way it is going, or the way it is unfolding, or revealing itself to you, the way the experiences are coming, whether they're good or bad. If you have a great relationship with yourself, You're going to take a minute where you can have a perspective of, okay, I'm reacting to this situation. Why am I reacting? Yeah, I'm running away from this situation. Why am I running away? What is it that I need to learn from here? And we talk a lot about life lessons, but most of us are not willing to learn those life lessons. We really want to run away from them.
So, do you think it's a problem with people um, not seeing their experiences as something that they can learn from, and rather as a mistake, and they try to run? Or
I think it's not, I wouldn't want to make it a problem.
mm-hmm.
Because this is the way of the society, the way of culture. This is how we have been raised. We run away from poverty, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the way we have been brought up, because we're looking at those people that have got so much and they look like they have it going well or good for them. So I want to run away from where I am towards where they are. But then I'm not embracing the situation here, which means I've not resolved the foundational problems that have got me where I am now, because my focus is constantly over there.
Outside of yourself.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay. So that ties into the forgiveness of self, right?
It does.
So what is the importance of being able to forgive yourself? Because obviously you can't forgive other people if you haven't forgiven yourself, but how do you forgive yourself?
Forgiving yourself starts from the place of embracing who you are being. So the situation might be really hard, the experience might be really tough, the experience might be embarrassing, or it might be, hurting, or whatever it is. So if you do not embrace that, then how can you forgive the experiences, the people that have been involved in that experience? So once you have embraced the situation, embraced and accepted what is going on in that reality, it then becomes easy for you to have a different perspective when you see, oh, well, I can't hold on to this. I have to let it go so I can move forward. But we have been taught culturally that we have to forgive others. But there hasn't been a lot of teaching about how to forgive yourself. Because it's easier to say, well, I forgive you, and then you think that you've let it go. But then within yourself, it's eating you. You're angry because of that situation, you're resentful, you become bitter. So in reality, as much as you think or we say we have let it go, we actually haven't.
Also holding on.
Yeah, because there's that forgiveness comes from that place of not allowing yourself to guilt trip yourself. Because a lot of this forgiveness comes from a place of feeling guilty, regretful, and all that. So there's a lot of emotions that are involved in it to forgive self. It also means that you are allowing yourself to heal so you can move forward. And it also means that you are releasing yourself from the bondage of the past. As you say, we're trying to run away from the past. So if you don't forgive yourself, you're constantly going to try and run away from there. But if you forgive yourself, then it just becomes the past that doesn't have a hold on you.
It's no longer existing.
It doesn't exist. Past doesn't exist really. It only exists in our mindset, in our memories. So it is our memories that we're constantly, watching like old recorded videos and then reacting to that story in the past. So now forgiveness of self means that you're letting go of that vision. You're letting go of the imaginations. You're letting go of the negative energies, the emotions that held that memory or that story. And that way, once you've let go of that, you release yourself and you can fully live for who you are in the moment.
In there, you said to write or create a journal and write in your journal. You need to create a space in your life right now for things to come into existence so that you can fully love and experience yourself wholly. If you are holding on to unforgiveness for others, you are just filling your heart with clutter. So shall we start by decluttering?
Yeah.
Do you write in a journal?
It depends. Because there are times when you for you to fully understand where you are, how you are being in the moment, you have to write it down. And then you have to read it as a third person.
That's also, it's about a perspective, isn't it?
Yeah, because as long as it's in your head, you are battling between the rights and the wrongs. And I've been wronged, or I am right, and someone else, so it's someone else's responsibility. But once you put it on paper, you can have the perspective of it. Okay, I am responsible for something in this experience. So how do you then
navigate that situation?
Yeah. And also writing in the journal also helps you to see your growth. Because you can start writing with the mindset of blame, and it's someone else's responsibility. But then when you're growing, halfway through your progress, you can look back and see, oh my God,
I can't believe I used to think
I can't believe that. Yeah, exactly.
I saw the same thing when I was journaling as well. Especially when I started in 2019, 2020. And compared to now, I can definitely see the difference of where I've taken accountability for certain situations. Before I used to be like, it's everyone else's fault. I can't believe people are treating me like this. And now it's like, maybe if I didn't do this certain action, none of that would have happened, or I wouldn't have felt the same way that I did at that point.
Yeah.
And sometimes I look back and I'm just like, damn, I was so negative. Like, why was I? Why was my brain like that?
It's the same thing, isn't it? When you're watching a movie and you're seeing all these characters of people acting differently, you can actually see what is going wrong and what they need to do. But then you can't see your own life, isn't it? Especially if it's in your head. Yeah. It's not visual. So once you write it down, then you can see the things that need to change. Exactly. And then you can start working on changing those things. And then you can see, oh my gosh, I've grown. Yeah.
That leads into transformation. Day 5 or chapter 5 of the book. Unless you transform and renew your mind, things will remain the same.
Yes.
And I can testify to that. Your mind is, like I said in the last podcast, it turns nothing into something. It turns frequency into reality. And what you sow into your mind, or the things that you put into your mind, is what in the end ends up coming out.
Yeah.
So changing your mind in the aspect of, I want this to happen in my life, will have a big impact over how your life is gonna, or the outcome of how your life is gonna be.
Yeah, true. Because you are what you think. As I said earlier, that we create our own realities. So as beings, we are spirit. And we've got different frequencies and different vibrations that we are functioning from. And our creativity comes from that. So if you're constantly being negative, you're going to create that negative reality, which means you're constantly tuned into a frequency of negativity. And you can't bring positive out of the negative. So you can only bring out what you are focusing and replaying all the time. So if your mindset is about things that are negative all the time, if it's about sickness, if it's about someone else is responsible for how I am behaving, or it's about, I find comfort in food, in drinking, in this and this, that's the mindset that you have. So you're operating from the frequency that will produce the results that you're constantly bringing in. So unless you change the mindset, you can't change the behavior. So it is, I think for those who read the Bible, it says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So as long as you are constantly thinking about these things, you cannot shift to a completely different paradigm. You're constantly in that same way of thinking, that same way of mindset. So transformation is not going to happen. So my own transformation, how I started to understand about transformation, began when I was looking for healing. So the more I healed myself, the more my mindset changed. I could see things differently. And I could then realize, okay, my gosh, my thinking was changing based on the process of healing that I was going through.
Your level of observation changes.
Yeah.
And
I think transformation brings you out of the frequency of negativity into a completely different frequency where you can start to create differently.
Exactly.
Mm.
And it brings about a new perspective of life.
Yeah.
I think the majority of the thinking that people have is based on the societal expectations.
Collectively,
Yeah, as
we
a
all
collective
have,
consciousness.
yeah,
Yeah.
we all have sort of things that I would like to call foundations.
Hmm.
Yeah. And we pick up our thoughts and our mindsets and our behaviors from that.
Mm.
I think if you sort of really look across the globe, doesn't matter what culture we go into, we kind of have the same behaviors.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, but we give them different names based on where
Where it
this
is.
behavior is being observed from. But it's really the same,
Hmm.
you know. So we pick up from that collective thinking. So if we want to change or transform, we have to really break free from the collective way of thinking.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So how do you break away from these social expectations or these societal expectations? Because how we function as a culture. How do you step away outside of that and continue to function within it?
You have to be willing to be different.
Hmm.
And breaking away doesn't mean you have to let go of what's going on in society.
Of course.
It means you just have to live your truth.
Hmm.
Remember when we talked about, when talking about speaking my truth, right? You have to be willing to listen to the deeper part of yourselves, because we argue a lot between what I feel, what I hear, and what everyone else is doing.
Hmm.
So we are more drawn to the peer of what everyone else is doing. But then if I want to transform and step out of the collective way of thinking that I now perceive is not working for me, I will have to believe that I can do what? Number one, I have to believe that I can do that. Number two, I have to be willing to heal myself.
Hmm.
Yeah, because a lot of this is because we are in in self disharmony, is what I want to call it. Yeah, we are not in harmony with the self. So if I'm hurting, I'm going to pick up the frequency in the collective that will allow me to hurt and then hurt others.
Hmm.
Yeah. And there are so many of us that are in that frequency.
So that saying goes, hurt people, hurt people.
Yeah. So if I want to break free from that, I have to heal myself from the process of hurting.
Hmm.
And then I have now taken myself out of the frequency or the vibration of hurting into something else. Then I'm creating differently. So it doesn't mean I'm outside of the world. It just means that my perception and my behavior has changed.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think I talk about my experience with anger. You know, I grew up, resenting anger based on how I was raised and the things that I experienced as a young girl. So I never really wanted to be angry. I thought it was bad until I became an angry person. And my reality was attracting everybody that was angry. And I was thinking there's something wrong with them
Hmm.
until I began the process of healing myself from anger, realizing that it wasn't just me being angry, but it was an emotion that was looking for a way of healing that was coming through my generation. And it was here also revealing itself to me in all these experiences that I was having. From the people around me, they become teachers because they made me angry.
Hmm.
They were angry. So I had to find a way of healing this emotion, which then released me and those around me. And that anger completely disappeared. Even people who are angry, as soon as they come my way, for some reason they mellow down
Hmm.
because I'm not moving in that frequency. So it's the same thing that I'm talking about when you're transforming your mindset, coming out of the collective way of thinking. It's about healing. What is it in your life that is asking you to be healed? You see it by the experiences that you are having around you. It could be things that has to do with bitterness. You are bitter because someone did something to you in the past. You are bitter because things are not going the way they are supposed to be going. Someone else did something to you, and so you're carrying on this bitterness. It's an emotion that is asking to be healed. But then you have to go to the source of that emotion so you can heal it. Once you heal that, then transformation will come in so many different ways. It might not be the same for you as it was for me, but I found that with the clients that I've worked with, it does work the same.
Yeah. I think how I would put it is I use other people as a mirror.
Yeah.
So when someone does something that I don't like and I see it, or I see it on a consistent basis from not just that one person, but from a lot of other people, and I just look at it like, oh, okay, this is a mirror. This is showing me there's something within me that needs to change.
Yeah.
And I think the people viewing can also use that as well.
That takes a degree of self-awareness.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have self-awareness, you're not going to see that.
Mm-hmm.
You see, you're only going to see what these people are doing, but you're not going to view it as a reflection of who you are being.
That's, self-awareness is definitely an important part of healing.
It's a very important part of transformation.
So work on that, guys. Self-awareness, just bring that.
Self-awareness should be the drive that gets you into wanting to do transformation. Yeah. Or into wanting you to heal yourself. Because as long as you're not self-aware, it's going to be very difficult. A lot of people can tell you what is wrong with you. But it's a very, very big challenge to acknowledge that. The only way that you acknowledge things that you're going to take action from is if you are self-aware. And then you realize this is not the path I want to take, but this is the path I want to take. So you work towards the path you want to take by releasing and letting go everything that is associated with whatever it is that you want to let go.
Exactly. With that, I'm saying everyone has the ability to choose the way that they live.
Yeah.
And
sorry for that.
Everybody has the ability to choose the way that they live. And like you were saying, the self-awareness is the catalyst for healing or transformation. So when what people need to take into consideration is how they go about doing this and how they can bring forth their self-awareness. Is there any practices that you do that increase your self-awareness, or is it the journaling alone, or is it meditation?
It's not journaling alone. There's so many ways you can use to make yourself self-aware. Really, as you say, the mirror effect. If you find things repeating in your life, just take a minute and just sort of look exactly at what is going on. This thing happened, this person is doing this and this. It's all sort of revolving around one thing. And then look at yourself and think, how am I behaving? Who am I being in this situation?
That's making this continue to happen.
That's making this continue to happen. If you throw away the blame and start to be self-accountable, that way you become more self-aware, because now you've brought your mind to focus on who you are being, not what other people are doing. Because if you understand that concept of I think if anyone watched The Secret, where you say when you see a car and then you say, oh, I like that car, you see it once, and then all of a sudden you start to see it everywhere. Yeah. So when you are self-aware and you're thinking, okay, what is going on here? And then your mind starts to focus on the things that are creating that reality. Because if you ask the question that we ask so often is, why me? Yeah, your brain is just looking for why you. So that's why you're seeing everything. It's showing you why you. But then if you focus on, okay, who am I being in this situation? And who do I need to be in order to resolve this situation? Then your mindset focuses on bringing you all those things that you need. And that means that the teachers that you need to help you in that situation are going to start showing up. But if you are not self-aware and if you don't know what you have asked to bring about what is coming your way, you might miss the teachers. You might miss the situation or the lesson that was meant for you to help you move forward.
Right.
So I before we even go into things like meditation and stuff like that, is just asking the right questions.
Okay. So what I'm getting for this is everything happens for your own good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of how you're perceiving it.
Yes.
Because when you're caught in these cycles and they're constantly happening and you're going around and around the same loop, but you're asking the wrong questions,
Mm-hmm.
then you'll continue to be stuck in the cycle.
Exactly.
But if you start asking the correct questions,
Mm-hmm.
then you start to break out of this cycle and you start to see why you're in this cycle and
Yeah.
what you're meant to learn from this cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And then you reach a point of growth, and that's when it becomes a thing of the past.
Yes.
And you move forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So this is day 18. Some gifts are wrapped in sandpaper, just like I was saying.
Yes, exactly. Your lessons, they don't come wrapped in the most beautiful packages. They come wrapped in thorns and sandpapers and things that are going to be really hard and painful for you to unwrap those gifts. And once you have unwrapped what is inside, you find diamonds and gold.
Mm.
Mm.
So,
But you've got to be willing to accept the gift that is wrapped in thorns.
well, everyone wants to walk on roses. No one wants to step on
But roses have got
thorns.
thorns.
Exactly. Your true essence is in accepting that you are unique.
Yes.
I think everyone understands that we are all unique down to the DNA and every molecule in our body, even the soul that encompasses, or even the body that encompasses the soul. The soul is very different as well. Each person has their own gifts and their own nature that's unique to them.
Yeah.
How do you go about accepting that?
It's simple. You just accept that you are unique. We are all not the same, but we try to be copycats. You want to be like someone else, but
Everyone
you're not.
has their own favorite celebrity. Oh, I want to be like this.
Yeah.
This person's so cool.
Yeah, but then you lose yourself
Mhm.
in the process of wanting to be someone else. You know, the purpose of being born in the womb that you came through, the parents that you came through, the experience that you have is to bring out your own uniqueness. So copying someone else loses your own identity.
Mhm.
And then who is going to fulfill your destiny?
Who's going to leave your own legacy just for you to build
Yeah.
to leave? So let's bring, since we're close on time now, we'll bring on the last question.
Okay.
You said the greatest relationship that you can ever have is with yourself.
Mhm.
Why is this?
Because once you have had the relationship with yourself that is ideal, how can you hate someone else? Because you understand that you and that other person are one. You remember the uniqueness. You say, well, we've got all these different DNAs, but the source of our being is one.
Mm-hmm.
We all breathe air, yeah, in and out everywhere. Nobody breathes any different type of oxygen. So really the truth is we are breath, only contained in different containers. So once you have this great relationship with yourself, you will understand that fact, and you will not be willing to hate someone else, but only love will flow through you. So what experiences that you're going to do or have, they're going to be perceived from the place of love.
Okay. Well, guys, you heard it here first from the lady herself. This is developing the greatest relationship with yourself, guys. Just a couple of questions. I didn't go through every single one of them because I want you guys to read this yourselves and get a better understanding. So go to her website, get this book. It's amazing, trust me.
The website address is martinanyamainashe.com. Or you can buy it on Amazon.
We'll also leave a link in the description as well, so you guys can just go straight there. Is there anything else that you want to add?
Well, just remember that we are one. We are not different to anything. We're not different to trees, to animals, to the water, to everything. Remember, when we perish, we all go underneath into the ground. And just remember, your transformation is your own responsibility. So develop that great relationship with yourself so that you can start to create the reality that you desire. Okay.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and hopefully we'll be seeing you soon.
Take care.
Take care. Have a good day.
Bye.